This is lesson 37 for course 1, adding and subtracting decimal numbers. Now, adding and subtracting decimal numbers is the exact same as adding and subtracting normal numbers, with the biggest rule being line up your numbers properly. The easiest way to do this is to line up the decimal. So if you have the numbers 3/10, 26/100 and 3/10, and you are adding them, the first thing you need to do is line them all up. So easiest way, decimals, okay? First decimal, next decimal. Notice there's nothing up here. Next decimal. Okay, and then go through. I like to fill the holes with zeros to show that the place is there, but it's being kept, mostly because it makes it so my eye understands what I'm adding to it and doesn't move over slightly. Okay, once you have the decimals lined up and the numbers written, fill in the holes with zeros so that you know that place is there. It's just not being used by that particular number. Adding a 0 when you're doing decimals like this, adding a 0 to the end of this number does nothing to it. It does not change it. This does not become 3 and 40/100. This is still 3 and 4/10 because this 0 means nothing. Technically, in all of these numbers, zeros go on forever. We just don't write them because we're lazy. So adding up just as normal. 6 plus 0 plus 0 is 6. 4 plus 2 is 6, plus 3 is 9. Decimal, 3 plus 0 plus 0 is 3. So you get 3 and 96/100. Okay, same thing with subtraction. Make sure your decimals are lined up and then fill in blank spots with zeros so that you can visually see where all of your columns are. Make sure your decimals, tenths, hundredths, thousands, ones, tens, everything is lined up. But you can start by doing it with the decimals. We'll do one more example and then I'll leave you to do your work. Next one. 3 and 78/100, 2 and 3/10. And we are going to subtract with these two. So I'm going to start with the larger number, just as you always want to do for subtraction. And this one, I'm going to make sure the decimal is lined up. So there's my decimal. There's my whole number. There's my 3. And as I said, I like to put a 0 in just so I understand that there is something there for the 8 to look at. And we're going to subtract. 8 take away 0 is 8. 7 take away 3 is, oh, not 5. 7 take away 3 is 4. Decimal, 3 take away 2 is 1. Okay, that is adding and subtracting decimal numbers. Your biggest thing, as I said, you need to remember is lining up your decimals. If you've lined up your decimals correctly, everything else should be in order. Make sure you line up your decimals.